welcome back to Film with the Boys. It's time for our weekly catch-up. I'm sorry we missed yesterday. It's just we've been so busy with the kids' birthday and things like that. Didn't get a chance to do it, so we thought we'd do it today. Part of the reason why I do it today is you might hear some construction noise in the background, and that's because my neighbours have thought it was, a great idea to start an excavator at 7 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. I mean, why wouldn't you do that? But hey, what can I say? Neighbours are like assholes. We've all got them, and they're assholes. Never mind. So I apologise if there's any background noise. I apologise. It's been a good week. It's been a quiet week on the channel because we've had so much to do with. We're going on vacation next week, so we have had to sort all the stuff out. It's like mobilising an army when you're taking kids on holiday. So we had to sort all that out. We had Oscar's birthday as well. Videos have gone up on the channel of some of the things Oscar got for his birthday. Oscar's obsessed with Stranger Things, so we've done a very small Stranger Things build, which is this one here. It's a desk tidy. It's a gorgeous thing. It's Argyle's van, but the video is up on the channel with the details where you can get yourself one of these. There is another one as well, where they do a small arcade machine. Shop around, because of the popularity of Stranger Things at the moment. The prices of these are spiking on eBay and Amazon, places like that. Don't overpay. Do not overpay, because they're worth around about, I'd say 10 to, at a push, 15 quid they're worth the money. Beyond that, do not spend your money on it. To shop around, you'll get one for a good price. We've built pack 8 of the root mouse. That video is up now. We've got pack 9, which I'm in the middle of doing at the moment. I took a break from that to do this. But that's gorgeous. The root mouse is just a beautiful thing. This thing really has flown up. I mean, compared to doing it the standard method that we do, where you get 4 a month, getting the 10 a month, has just made such a huge impact, and that's a beautiful thing. So you can see pack 8 now. That went up yesterday. That's on the channel. Pack 9 will be up probably Monday. Again, we are away next week, but we've made enough videos that I can upload whilst we're away, so there will be one every couple of days. So next week I can confirm we will have Root Master Pack 9 will be up on the channel, R2-D2 will be up on the channel, as will Iron Man. I know there's a lot of you chomping at the bit for the next Titanics. I haven't got them. They're supposed to be here, I think, next Saturday, maybe Monday. So it's about another week until about another week and a bit till Titanic gets here. And we will be doing them, but I'm looking forward to that as well. So I'm in the same boat as you. When's Titanic coming? I'm exactly the same. As soon as it's here, they will be done and they will be straight up, because it's a beautiful thing, the Titanic. Other things we built this week: we built the Disney Dolls house. Well, since the last time we spoke, built the Disney Dolls house, which has got a Peter Pan lantern in it, which suffers from light bleed. And the reason I bring that up, I know not all of you are doing the Disney Dolls house to watch this, and the bulk of you are doing Titanic, but light bleed's important, because I think it's going to affect, in fact I know it's going to affect the Titanic as well. So the problem with the Peter Pan lantern is, and you can see this in the video where I do the fix for it, is it's supposed to be a lantern sat on a chest of drawers. So when it lights up, the only thing that should light up be the lantern, but the front drawer was lighting up as well. Now that wouldn't happen because one, light doesn't penetrate wood, and two, it's supposed to be an optical illusion. You're supposed to be able to lift the lantern off, so no light would be pouring into the chest. It just bothered the hell out of me. Watching the drawers glowing up bothered me a lot. Now, I know one of the solutions that gets banded around a lot to light bleed is to paint it black. You don't need to paint things black. Okay, you do not need to paint things black. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But the problem I find with painting anything like that is it's not the easiest thing to undo. So if all of a sudden you've painted something black, and then to block light bleed, but then when you're looking into it, you've just kind of got this abyss now because you paint everything inside black. You might want to undo it, and undoing that's not easy once you've covered it in black paint. I mean, it can be done. It's just a chore to do. So I use insulation tape. That's what I use to fix the lantern. So I've got black insulation tape, and it just works. It works perfectly. So it blocks out all the light bleed. So if you are building, say, a car, and you've got a dashboard and there's light bleed coming through, or on anything, you just line the insides with insulation tape and it blocks it right out. Now the beauty of that is, if you need to undo it, you just peel it off. You know how to use paint stripper or anything like that, or clean it up. You just peel the tape off. and you can add more where you need it, and if you need to do a double layer, you do a double layer. But the part of the superstructure of the Titanic, I just know there's going to be light bleed. I do. I want my windows to light up. I don't want the walls to light up, because that wouldn't have happened. So if you've got a wall that's, would have originally been either a steel wall or a wooden wall or whatever, it wouldn't glow. Just because someone had a light on inside the wall wouldn't suddenly glow up. So I want my lights lit, not my walls. I don't want my walls glowing. That ain't happening, and that's why I will be insulating the inside of them if that is the case. The other thing is where you might get light bleed in between parts of the deck, where deck joins and things like that. You might get some light bleed. Now typically you really see the light bleed in the dark. So I mean, I doubt, I don't know how you're going to display it. I doubt anyone's going to be having this thing as almost like a night light. You might, but that's when you see the light bleed. You really see it bad when all the lights are off and you see the kind of, there's like beaming through there, and there's like beaming out from underneath the funnel that shouldn't be there and things like that. That's when you just go in and let's tape all that up, let's get that done, let's get that sorted. If light bleed doesn't bother you, don't worry about it. But if it does, and it does bother the hell out of me, that's why I use the insulation tape. It'll be interesting to see how Titanic goes, because again, we are working more on what appears to be the engine room in the next one. So we've got the floor for the reciprocating engines, and we have a second reciprocating engine, so that is going to be quite, I thought it was only going to be little. I thought we were already going to do like half of the width of the hull, but it looks like we're building a second reciprocating engine that's going to go behind the first. So we're gonna have one moving. I don't know if the other one's going to move. That's going to be a bit weird if it doesn't. But I'm curious, because I would imagine they're going to light that room up. Otherwise, it's going to be too dark. So there might be LEDs inside that room. If that happens, we then run the risk of having light bleed between sections of the hull. Again, we'll just be taping it up. You won't see it. So yeah, check that video out. Even if you're not building Disney Doll's house, it just shows how effective insulation tape is in blocking light bleed, and how easy it is, because you just cut it all to shape and bam, and off you go. So when we've got those tiny little windows, you don't have to be there with your glasses on and finely painting in between them. You just cut this to size, done. It's a very quick job. And when you're building a damn near 5-foot ship, yeah, speed is good, but that's it for the light bleed. But as I said, Titanic will be coming up as soon as we've got them. They will go up, because I can't not do them. I love the Titanic, so as soon as they hear I'm like a kid in a sweet shop, it's got to be done. R2-D2's looking great. R2-D2, we've pretty much done the head at this point, so we've added a lot of electrics to the skull. We've added all those elements we've been building, like parts from literally issue 1, so from 18 months ago, we've added to the skull now, and it's looking really good. And it's yeah, it's looking really nice, R2-D2, and it's exciting times now, because in the next pack we are going to start the body. Very little, but we do start the body frame, and that's yeah, that's good. That's it. So a lot of these are getting to exciting stages now, because even Iron Man, which again we've got coming up, we've got our first LEDs for the premium base. That's looking gorgeous already. That base is going to be stunning when it's done. It is massive. I will say this: if you're planning on building Iron Man, the model itself is not huge, so finding a shelf or something for him to stand on pretty easy. However, if you go premium base, be aware of just how massive that premium base is, because honestly, it's like a dustbin lid. It is huge, gargantuan. So you need someone to put it. So be aware of that if you do this, or if you do any of those figures, because I would imagine I believe RoboCop has a premium base, and he's due to be released in the next 6 months through Fan Home. He has a premium base. I would imagine that his premium base is going to be about the same size as the Iron Man premium base. These things are massive. So if you are going to go premium, make sure you've actually got somewhere the base can go. But Iron Man is getting to that point now where it's exciting, and it's been a long time coming for him. So we've built his chest, and we're going to be working on the back. So he's starting to come together. So the body's going to go together, and then shortly after that, we're going to start attaching arms to the body, and then he's going to start coming together, which has been, like I said, a long time coming, because all we've got to date of Iron Man is lumps. So we've got like legs and arms and pelvis and things like that, but no real structure to him. But that is coming. So in the next couple of months, we start to bolt him together, which is going to be good. It better be. It's been a long payoff to get to that point, but yeah, we're looking forward to that. We're looking forward to that a lot. With going back to the Disney Dolls house, it's grown massively, but we're about to enter a really weird limbo period with that. So after the next 4, we're adding some windows to the ground floor, another door, so that the second internal door is going in, some skirting board and things like that. Then after that one, we don't touch the house again until February. So it'll go up on a shelf. It'll get mothballed. We'll cover it over because it's going to pick up dust over 4 or 5 months. But we don't touch it. Don't touch it. There's no interaction with it, because we are building the basement, which is part of the baseboard that's going to sit on. So we don't touch the main house. And then the other thing we do is, once we've done that, we then build the Winnie the Pooh's garden, which is like a separate drawer that pulls out the side of the house. And we spend a long time doing that. We literally do not touch the main house that we've been building again until February. So it's weird. It's a long time to go. But it is what it is. So it's all necessary. But then once that's done, you never leave the house. So it's growing at a rate of knots. It's massive. It's getting hard to film now. It's that big. But it's a nice problem to have. It really is. And there's some great things. There's a little kite coming up for the Disney Dolls house. I'm not looking forward to the kite. I'm not. It's not my style of craft. I've done it, and I'm confident enough I can do it, because I build the Royal Life miniature rooms, and a lot of those have notoriously fiddly pieces of furniture to make. So I don't think the kite looks overly challenging. It's just not a part of it I particularly enjoy. But it's okay. We'll get through it. We'll get it done. New models. There's some really nice ones coming from Robot Time, Roker, and Royal Life. Really nice ones. The first couple that I can show you are I've shown you one before. I've shown you the Chairplane, which is part of they're doing a fairground series. So they've done the Chairplane. They've just released images of the parachute drop. It's a gorgeous little thing. It looks like this. So that's the parachute drop. It's lovely. We're seeing it move. I mean, they all go on different patterns. So they don't all go up and drop at the same time. You see them all sort of go up and drop, and it's gorgeous. It's really nice, and it plays music, lights up. It's a lovely thing. My main criticism of the new fairground ones that they're doing is the sounds. Now, traditionally, the airplane tower you can see just here, the carousel and the Ferris wheel. I've got the Ferris wheel. I can show you the Ferris wheel. They use traditional music boxes. So they use traditional clockwork music boxes. So this is the Ferris wheel. I'll try and give you a small blast, but I mean, just a small blast goes on for ages. So you can see, we'll just leave him running. It's typically a clockwork music box, and I kind of like that. I like that there's something quaint about having a wooden model that has a, there you go. It'll go again in a minute. That has a traditional music box, clockwork music box, and there's something very cute about that goes with the wooden models. The new ones don't do that. The new ones have electrics, so it has a speaker, and I just don't like the sounds they're playing. The music they're playing sounds very, I don't know, very cheap toy, when these aren't, and that's what I think takes away from it. It's got a very tinny kind of music to it, and I'm not blown away by it. Again, electrics are powering some of these now, where traditionally they were clockwork models. So I can see one of the problems with the Chairplane. I like the Chairplane. I'm going to get the Chairplane, but one of the problems with it is this goes as fast as you wind it. So when this is fully wound, it goes fast and you see it slow down. The new one, because it's battery operated, you press the button and the thing just turbos. It goes too fast. I think that's the problem. And I've seen people make ones where the thing's going spinning so fast it's practically shaking itself apart. But I mean, in credit to Rolife from Robot Time Roker, they're advancing, they're moving forward. So I can't knock them for that. I think that's good. Progress is good. But I just hope they improve what they do, because again, the chair plane goes too fast. You almost want batteries that are half dead to give it a normal kind of speed, because honestly that thing is it's like a helicopter blade. You think, Christ, if you went on that it'd kill you. It's like a centrifuge rather than an amusement ride. And I don't know if parachute drop's going to be the same. So having not seen anyone build one, I've just seen the promotional videos of it. I don't know if it's going to gently go up and drop down, or if those things are going to be, so we'll see. But I know they've got 2 more coming as well. I know that they have also got a drop ride. I've not seen any images of that yet, but they've got a drop tower, which is similar to the parachute. If you don't know what a drop tower is, it's like the Tower of Terror at Disney World or whatever it is. They rise and they drop. That's what the drop tower is. And then the other one they've got is a tilt-a-whirl, which, for those of you in the UK, the waltzers basically is a tilt-a-whirl. And that's what they're doing there. But I have no images of those. I do have images of something that we will also have featured on the channel, which is a fairly unique thing that's come from Lego. It's the Aston Martin DB5. Now, this isn't the first 007 Lego set that Lego have produced, but it is the first time they've ever made a minifigure of James Bond, because a fairly glaring omission from the very large kind of adult collector DB5 that they did was that they didn't give any minifigures. Now, normally, even on the massive versions, they give you a set of minifigures that go with them. Like if you build the humongous aircraft carrier from helicarrier from the Avengers, they gave you a set of Avengers to go with it. If you built the giant Batmobile, you got little Batman and Joker just to display along next to them. They didn't do that with the DB5, so everyone was kind of expecting like a tiny little thing that just sits next to it of maybe Bond and Oddjob, and then they never did it, which I think is an opportunity missed. But they've capitalised on that. So part of their Speed line, they've released these smaller budget versions of the DB5, and I can tell you it's gorgeous. We got it for the kid for his birthday, and as what's essentially an 18 quid model, it's really nice. So you get the DB5, and you get the first time they've ever made a Bond minifigure. It's of Daniel Craig, but who knows? Who knows what other Bond sets we may or may not get from Lego? Because man, I see it. The kid does Lego. I don't. It's not my thing. But if they did a bunch of Bond minifigures, Christ, I would know all of them. If you could get Scaramanga and Baron Samedi, and Rosa Klebb and Blofeld, I'd get them all. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. The other one they do in that line is they've also done a version of the same scale of the Dodge Charger from Fast and Furious, which comes with a little Vin Diesel. Again, it's a gorgeous thing, but you can get it for like 18 quid, which is nothing. I mean, the other ones who've done like this, they did a DeLorean a long time ago on this scale, which was about 40 quid at the time. It's a lot more than that now. But these are dirt cheap. I mean, for a licensed Bond set, 18 quid is nothing. But we've got the video of that coming up, and it's very nice indeed. And again, if you are looking for something that's going to appreciate and value, that will. Honestly, the first 007 minifigure, honestly, that's a good one to invest in. We've got, as I said, we've got a lot coming up on the channel over the next week. I just won't be here, so I won't unfortunately be able to answer your comments and your emails as quickly as I normally do, dependent on kind of internet access, because we're going somewhere that notoriously has bad internet, but it'll be all right. We'll work it out. One thing I am going to as well, it isn't something we feature on the channel, but it is something I might pop on the channel if you want to see it. I'm going somewhere I'm kind of obsessed with pinball machines. I love pinball machines. I have no room for a pinball machine. Otherwise, I would have one. I've told my wife, she knows full well, she knew the deal when she married me. The first opportunity I get to own a Twilight Zone pinball machine, I'm going to own a Twilight Zone pinball machine. I want an Addams Family to go next to it, and I want the Terminator 2 pinball machine. The Terminator 2 pinball machine is a bit of a polarizing one because people don't really enjoy the game, and I'll admit that the actual game itself is not great, but it's just a massive part of my teen years. Playing the Terminator 2 pinball machine brings back a lot of warm memories. Where I'm going has one of the largest collections of pinball machines in the UK, so I am going to be just in heaven. I'm planning on spending an obscene amount of money playing pinball over the next week, and I'm going to film some of them. So I'll film some of the ones they got, because they've got every classic you can think of. So they've got the Addams Family, they've got the Twilight Zone, they've got, it's polarizing, but they've got Lethal Weapon 3. If you know your pinball, Lethal Weapon 3 is a great pinball machine. And they've got some of the terrible pinball machines as well. They've got that god-awful Popeye pinball machine with the massive Bluto inside the playfield. But they've got some amazing ones. They've got Pinbot and Bride of Pinbot and Meteor, and just, if you don't know pinball, you're thinking, what is he talking about? If you do know pinball, you know what I'm talking about. So it's like I'm going to heaven. So I will get some videos of those. I will pop them up. And anything weird and wonderful we see whilst we're away, I will film. Because there's something that I know, there's something where I'm going that a model version of it is coming up. So I'll try and get some film footage of it. But yeah, it'll be good. Again, if you haven't liked us yet, please do. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, hit the subscribe button, because we'd love to have you. And it's been overwhelming. It has, the amount of new subscribers that we've got is a beautiful thing. I mean, it was only about 3 weeks ago we were doing our thank you for 500, and we're nearly at 750. So it's been really rapid. It really has. If anyone's watching this from Australia, a big welcome to Australia. I know a lot of you have started the Titanic build that's been released over there. So hello to new Australian subscribers. In kind of homage to Australia, now starting the Titanic build. On the next Titanic one that I do, if you watch to the end and we do the history of the Titanic, I am going to do a feature on Australian passengers of the Titanic, because there were Australians on the Titanic. There were passengers that covered all classes. There were third, second and first class passengers on the Titanic from Australia. There were also sailors and employees of the Titanic from Australia as well. So a good kind of cover of every class and every kind of scenario regarding Australia. Just to welcome our friends from down under to the build, and it's going to be good. But that won't be next week. It'll be the week after. That's all I've got time for this week. In a world where you can be anything at all, just be nice, and we will catch you on the next one.